Now you can enjoy the happiness of the holidays for the next 6 months by paying less and making more money by getting 180 days of picks from your favorite handicapper at a huge discount. This limited time Christmas special gives you a 90-day all-access pass with a handicapper of your choice at WagerTalk.com, plus an additional 90 days of all-access passes at no additional cost, an $849 value. This comes out to just under $5 per day, includes all sports released and any 5% best bets, normally priced at $35 each. Your access with your handicapper will cover NFL through the Super Bowl, college football through the national championship, any NBA and NHL action, including playoff games played during access and the start of the MLB season. Plus, if your handicapper does UFC, soccer, tennis, or any sport, yep, it's included. Happy holidays from everyone at WagerTalk.
Happy Friday, guys. Welcome in right here to WagerTalk TV. I'm Andrew McInnis, and I have Lawrence Presman joining me here today in her place of Carmine Bianca. We're going to break down 4 games on the card, best bets at the end. I'm sure a show or a movie recommendation mixed in a little bit. Also, maybe some cooking tips if we can, Prez. I did try out one of your tips yesterday at home. We'll jump into that in the show, but I'm excited for today, man. Yesterday, I was up super late. Getting ready for, today's early games in the NHL. We got some early action. We got some college football playoffs. And yesterday, the scoring continues. Some interesting games. Florida piles it on against the Tampa Bay Lightning. But today's games we're discussing Edmonton Oilers, New Jersey Devils, Ducks and the Golden Knights, Rangers and Lightning, and the Washington Capitals and the Detroit Red Wings. Prez, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Sir. Well, firstly, which cooking technique did you try? The scrambled eggs one?
No. I was grilling up some burgers last night, and I had heard the ice cube trick before, but I don't think I've ever really done it. So I did, and it's funny because I know you get heckled and you get a little bit of flack for mixing in that stuff, and I see you comment back on the Wager Talk today YouTube, and you're like, "Look, brother, I'm gonna do me." And, you bounce back and forth from the content to the randomness, I'll call it. But I had some good burgers last night, man.
Yeah, dude. Well, listen, the ice cube trick works. But more importantly, we were talking at the while waiting about porn, and we both agreed that it's really boring. Like watching actresses and actors do porn. It's like, no, man, you're just acting. It's not working for me. And then you pointed out you couldn't name 5 porn stars. I pointed out I don't think I could name 1. Dan jumped in, our producer, and said he could name 20 at least. So I asked the chat room, can you name 5 porn stars? 2? Diamond.
I think you'll
Dallas.
be very, very surprised, Prez. I think you'll be very, very surprised.
I just made that name up though. Diamond Dallas. That's not bad. That is not bad.
That might be the next Alexis Texas. Diamond Dallas.
I think I'd be Dirk Stick.
All right, Prez. Let's just jump right into our first game. Let's just get right into it.
Well, did you think I wasn't going to bring that up?
Oh, of course I thought you were going to bring it up. I think it's hilarious. I think it's awesome that both you and I don't need to watch that stuff. But
I never said I don't need to. I just said I don't like the professional ones.
Oh. Well.
Anyway, what's Carmine saying? Welcome to Pucks and Porn with the Prez. Oh, Carm. You're hilarious.
Prez.
Oh, we got a show to do.
150. They're on the road at New Jersey. This is their second game since being back. It's also New Jersey's second game since being back. New Jersey's plus 130. The total's 5.5 in this game. The Devils, they barely scraped by against the Buffalo Sabres. That game was very competitive. Devils went up 2-0. Sabres tie it up. However, that game for the Oilers against the St. Louis Blues, not so competitive. That was a St. Louis Blues hockey game to win. Pretty much from the start of the puck drop here. Do you see a bounce back coming today for the Edmonton Oilers? And for all of you guys out there watching, this is an early start. 1 p.m. Eastern time. Get your bets in early while you still can. Prez, what are your thoughts here in this matchup?
You know, Andrew, one of the things I was looking at on the so-called reset, if you will, is what teams had high aspirations coming into the season and were struggling, like, for instance, the New York Islanders, and what teams had high aspirations and were slumping, like, for instance, the Edmonton Oilers. Now, I grant you they did win 2 games in a row before the break, but they had lost 7 in a row. I looked at those teams and I said, this is a great reset for these guys. Their coaches are going to be like what the New York Islanders, you know, let's start the season over again. Let's put everything in the past. Let's focus on porn. I mean, let's focus on winning. And I think the Edmonton Oilers are one of those teams, Andrew. I did tell everybody a few days ago that St. Louis was going to win. Having Darnell Nurse out of the lineup is massive. The Edmonton Oilers are not the best. They're one of the worst 5-on-5 teams in hockey. They go as far as their power play takes them. That power play is historically good, and it's really quarterbacked by Darnell Nurse. He's back tonight. They're coming off of a loss. They have played a game, which I consider to be important, and now they're playing the New Jersey Devils. New Jersey also played a game. They beat Buffalo 4-3. So to me, I look at it as, okay, the Devils got their win out of the way. Edmonton got their loss out of the way. I think Edmonton's a bye team moving forward, so long as Darnell Nurse is playing. I actually think he's the most important person on that team. Not the best. Obviously, Connor and Leon is. But without him, that power play just doesn't click. I like Edmonton in regulation in this spot, and I will be personally betting it as well.
Well, I have to give you credit because what you said was so true about Darnell Nurse and his importance. And I think a lot of people just talk about these forwards, and you talked about the power play execution. And, you know, you're right. Yeah. This team, the way they are 5-on-4 versus 5-on-5, their execution rate, obviously I know it's a power play, but they heavily rely on their power plays, each and every game, it seems like. We just recorded our Prop It Up show, Prez, a show I really enjoyed doing with Mid-Major Matt and Andy Lang. That show goes live at 1 p.m. Eastern after your show. But, I talked about NHL props today on the show, and one thing I discussed was this really isn't the time to look towards the depth players. This is kind of the more chalky time because players are back, they're rested. This is, to me, the time where it benefits a team like the Edmonton Oilers that – I've read the stats countless times. They're top heavy as it gets, right? Connor McDavid, Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins. You can pick a couple guys that are going to do the bulk of the scoring for them. I think we can both agree on that. So I think in this instance here against the Devils team that doesn't rank, that ranks, very, very low as far as those goals given up. They give up a lot of goals. That's what I'm trying to say. And I think that, the top guys will take advantage of that. Their transition game will just catch this team off guard. The zone exits for Edmonton and having Darnell Nurse back is huge. And that's the thing. People look at these grocery lists of guys injured and guys out, and they immediately think fade. You got to check who those guys actually, are that are out. And if it's on the Edmonton Oilers and it's not a top player, I'm honestly not as worried about it. So I like that play as well. Edmonton in regulation. And I got to say, when a team has a lead for a lot of the game and they just can't seem to ever hold on to it, that worries me, Prez. And we kind of saw that with the Devils the other night. They'd get up a goal or two and then lose the lead. Get up a goal or two and lose the lead.
And that's a reflection. I mean, that's a reflection on a young team trying to find their way, build their culture. We saw that with Minnesota a couple of years ago as they were starting their climb. So it's not uncommon, to say the least. But Andrew, man, like some of these guys in the chat room, like one guy was laughing at Prez giving out cooking instructions. Another guy thought it was ridiculous that I mentioned porn. Do those guys not smile? Like, is that what it is? They just don't want to enjoy them. It's like we could be really dry, guys. I mean, we could handle these shows like just lay out math for you. We could just put a math chart up and not talk. Would that be preferable? I guess I walked into the answer yes on that one.
Well, I'm not really much of a charts guy. I think you and I handicap very similarly, the way we talk about hockey together. And so I think a chart would be horrible for both of us. I think you and I would absolutely fall asleep if we had to read charts the entire slip. I mean, I think it's very rare for me to even talk about stats because you and I watch hockey every day. We follow it every day. We can talk about what we've seen,
Yeah, both of us are eye test handicappers. Anyway, I'm just playing around, man. I'm in a good mood. I'm ready to rock and roll. It's New Year's Eve. You know what I'm doing New Year's Eve?
What are you doing?
Nothing. I'm in quarantine. Yes, my 2 daughters were tested yesterday, and they were both positive. I am now stuck indoors and ready to kill.
Well, I hope they're doing all right and they recover quickly, Prez, but that obviously sucks to hear, especially because that's the thing with COVID, anybody around you gets it, then you're kind of stuck in the house as well. Look, I might as well be in quarantine as well. I'll be just staying at home watching sports as well. My friends back home, they're having a good time. I decided not to make the trip back to party with them, so maybe I'll get a movie recommendation from you after the show or after our next game we talk about, because I might need one here with the girlfriend tonight. We don't really have any big plans. So we'll get into our next game, though. The Anaheim Ducks and the Vegas Golden Knights. The Vegas Golden Knights minus 190 at T-Mobile Arena. Anaheim plus 160 on the road here, Prez. And Vegas, if you remember, early in the season, they dealt with injuries. Big time. They're dealing with another one right now with Max Pacioretty, but for the most part, they're pretty healthy, and you're seeing it with their goal production and with their wins on the board. It's been impressive for them over the past several weeks. They've really started to get on a roll here. And the Anaheim Ducks, I'm curious to get your thoughts on this team, Prez, because this is a team that I kind of have as a sell team, right now. You look at the standings in the NHL, they're higher up there than anybody would have ever thought. And I'm impressed by them.
17 and
younger
9
players. Yeah, it's impressive. What a lot of the commentators for Anaheim, what they've said from the coaches' quotes is that it's a great mixed bag of youth and leadership. And I often like that because something that you said the other day that I really liked was they're having fun. I'm not sure which team you were talking about, but it's true. You want to see a team enjoying themselves on the bench, and that's like the Anaheim Ducks. But I'm just not so sure they can continue this because they average so many shots against every single game.
Yeah.
And you saw what happened the last game for Anaheim. Gibson had to stand on his head. And I think that if between Stolarz and Gibson, they're not getting 32, 33, 35 saves a game, they're losing. They're going to be in tough. So before I throw it to you, I will say one prop I do like tonight, Jonathan Marchessault over 2.5 shots. I haven't been big on the props with clients and stuff like that, Prez, and even on this show. But tonight I really do like that. The guy's shooting the puck a ton. He had 2 goals and 1 helper in his first game back. I feel like he continues to do that. But what are your thoughts here on this game, but also the Ducks? Do you share the same thoughts as me?
Well, first and foremost, one of our listeners put it best. Truman Underwood, by the way, nice name. Hello, Truman. He wrote, Prez loves teams that smile. And I do, Andrew. I mean, that is a factor in my handicapping. I've spoken about it in baseball. I've spoken about it in hockey. If you're having fun, you're not losing a lot of games on a regular basis. And Anaheim is having a freaking blast out there. The bottom line is I do agree with you. I think they are a sell team moving forward. I think this Anaheim team is going to be a perennially good team, 2 years from now as their players mature. But as we get closer and closer to playoff time, the amount of shots that they allow teams to have is going to start biting them. So I'm with you. I think they are a sell team. But as for tonight, man, you got Patch out, Stone out, Leonard's questionable, Martinez out. We've seen this story before. This Vegas team is not the same, obviously, without their core players playing. Anaheim coming off of a loss against Edmonton. No, not Edmonton. I was on that game. I've gone blank. Vancouver, 2-1.
Vancouver, yeah.
I got it. I'll tell you, I'm not betting this game. I'm not even getting close to betting this game. But if I were to bet it, the value's on Anaheim tonight. Vegas is just the injuries start to mount for that team. At plus 162, I think there's value on Anaheim. I also think there's value on the under tonight. I think Vegas, without those guys, are going to need to play fast and defensive. So I lean on the under, and I think there's value on the Ducks. But moving forward, as the season gets longer, I think Anaheim is a sell team. And I think Vegas is going to be a huge buy team once everyone's back.
Well, they're already running really hot, and I think it'll just continue for them. And let's not forget, when Jack Eichel's healthy, they now have another superstar on their team. So they aren't messing around over there in Vegas. You know, it's only a couple years into their existence as a franchise, and they're still chasing that cup and making big moves, throwing away some draft picks and picking up guys like Jack Eichel. I like the under, just like Prez. I think that we'll see a lower scoring game. And I mentioned, I think the top line guys are really, really important, as most important as they probably are ever when you come back from a break, those first couple games. Those guys you lean on to be your superstar players. And like Prez said, some of those key guys are out. Prez, I got looking up the odds here. I found something pretty interesting. Anaheim Ducks to make the playoffs, the no answer is plus 112 here. We talk about the buy and sell, and you use those terms quite a bit. That's a good bet, man. I think. Plus 112 there. Yeah.
Especially with teams like Vancouver. You know, Vancouver is going to make a big run, and you've got Calgary and Winnipeg's going to make a run. I just can't see them as one of the 8.
No, I can't. And for everybody out there, the top 3 teams in the divisions make it. Then there's the wild card. So, if you're betting them to make the playoffs right now, you have to understand you're pretty much betting them at peak performance. If you like the Ducks to make the playoffs, I'd at least wait for them to lose a couple games to get better value, because right now is not the time. But both Prez and I agree. Plus 112 right now, you can get great value on them not to make the playoffs here. Prez, before we get into our third game, I'll just throw it to you, man. The floor is yours. Just want to hear about what you have up for today, for this weekend, over at WagerTalk.com.
Yeah, well, thank you, dude. Listen, I've been rolling, Andrew. I'm not kidding you. Firstly, my NFL is insane. The NFL presidential address is up. There's no shenanigans on that show. I literally just look at the camera and speak for 30 straight minutes. I did mention Siamese twins and head at some point in there. You'll have to check it out and what I said. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward show. I go down every single game top to bottom. You guys need to check that out. College football, bowl season's doing well. NBA, won 4 of my last 5 days. NHL, I'm on a 6-2 run. But really, I just want to single out the one play today. I have a 5% play in college football. It's a bowl game. It's a semifinals bowl game. And if you guys want it $20 instead of $35, use the promo code CFB20. CFB as in college football. CFB20. And it's yours for only $20. And I'm going to be betting that game pretty heavy. I'm excited about it, to say the least. My NFL card is not up yet, but I do have 4 plays that I'm looking at, and I'd like to get it down to 3. And that's really it. I got a hockey play tonight for my clients. I got an NBA play. I got a college basketball play. You can find it all over at WagerTalk.com on my private page, The Prez. That's it.
Sweet. It is a jam-packed day today. There's so many games across the board, all sports. Good luck to you, Prez, on that 5% college football play. Make sure you guys check that out over at WagerTalk.com. WT.buzz/PZ or PZ for those of you guys in America. For me, I'm rolling as well, Prez, but mainly just in the NHL. 37-11 run right now in the National Hockey League. 9-2 since hockey has returned over the last couple days here. And I have a 5% play going up today in the NHL, or it is up in the NHL. I don't like talking about short-term streaks with the NHL. This is a 70%, 5% run since 2019. Pretty much since I joined WagerTalk, 70% winners with 5% plays at WagerTalk.com. So check it out right now. Also have a great promo code to use for the rest of my NHL season. This expires on Sunday, guys. Gold 200 takes $200 off my NHL season. Other than that, we got some prop packages going up for the weekend for the NFL, and I'm sure I'll find a play. But just like yourself, Prez, I haven't been releasing stuff too early, and I'm trying to narrow in on the rest of my plays. But make sure you guys check us out, both of us, at WagerTalk.com. Let's keep this show on the road here. Rangers and Tampa Bay Lightning. We have New York traveling to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay minus 120. Rangers plus 100 here. Total is at 6. And Prez, holy smokes, did this Tampa Bay team get beat down, and they're going to remember that loss they had against the Florida Panthers. The Panthers put up a 9 spot. We talked about how we've seen some high-scoring games since the NHL has returned. That's not just a regular high-scoring game. That is, just pure domination here. And in Tampa, they're usually a pretty good bounce-back team. Historically, past several years, they're a pretty good bounce-back team. What are your thoughts here, Rangers and Bolts?
Yeah, dude, listen, they lost 4-0 to Ottawa, and it's tough. Is 4-0 to Ottawa more embarrassing than 9-3 to Florida? Pretty damn close, I would say.
Maybe it's equivalent.
Bounced back. Yeah, well, they bounced back. They won their next 4 games. Rangers have lost 2 in a row, just lost to Florida. This is not a good spot for the Rangers at all, from my perspective. You're going to have Coops is one of the best coaches in all of hockey. He is going to be livid after that defensive meltdown last night. I look at this game and I see Tampa Bay minus 131. I love the Rangers as a team. I think the Rangers are a Stanley Cup contender. Panarin was never even drafted. I'm really high on this Ranger team, just not tonight. I think we get Tampa Bay in a bounce-back spot off of a humiliating loss at home as a short favorite. I like Tampa Bay tonight at minus 131. And I have no issue if you want to play that in regulation at plus 120-ish.
I feel like they bounce back as well. One unique thing about this game, both these two teams, the last game they played was against the same team. They both lost to the Florida Panthers. The one guy we won't have for tonight for Tampa Bay, Mr. Big Pads. We're not going to have Andrei Vasilevsky, the guy that covers the entire net with his goalie gear that somehow is allowed to be in the NHL. But, he's still out. Brian Elliott's still out. So we have Maxime Lagacé either going again or a 4-stringer. That's been the biggest issue for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I think, Prez, we already knew how great Andrei Vasilevsky is, but has it been poor defense, or are we really just seeing how great Vasilevsky is and how important he is to this team? Because, man, we're really seeing that it's a true 3rd stringer right now in goal for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah, and that's ultimately the problem, and it's why I don't have any issue if you guys want to bet the over. Tampa Bay the Rangers definitely play to the under 11-19 over to under, and Tampa Bay plays to the over. But man, one thing about the Rangers, they do get shots. They you go down the board and 33 shots, 29, 30, 28, 32, 31, 30, 30, 31. They're getting shots on net. They have scorers. I would have no issue if you guys wanted to bet the over in that play for that very reason. So I like that, and I like Tampa Bay. And yeah, man, we're seeing it with so many teams that the difference between their first, second, and third string goalie, I mean, it's as wild as the quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, Vasilevsky, we're talking like if Tom Brady was out. That's how big that is. But I do want to say something to you, Andrew, about the equipment and it being so large and how he takes up the entire net. You know who started that all?
Who?
Patrick Waugh. Patrick Waugh, I don't know if you know this, but he used to run a string from his arm to the bottom of his shirt, and it would bring the sleeves of his shirt down and keep it firm.
Wow.
So if the puck hits it, it would be stopped.
Yeah,
he was
that's
the
pretty
one
cool.
that started that junk. They did ban that string, but yeah, man. I mean, you go look at Tony Esposito on the Chicago Blackhawks back in the 70s and 80s and compare his equipment to the equipment they're wearing today. It is crazy.
You talk about banning equipment, though, Prez. Like, there are rules for this. Did you see any of the pictures going around the internet last year of Carey Price and Vasilevsky shaking hands in the lineup? Did you see any of those pictures? It looked like somebody photoshopped Vasilevsky's chest to like be like 4 times the size as what it's supposed to be. It looked like his gear is like if Price was wearing a size large, Vasilevsky was a size like quadruple XL. It was unbelievable.
Dude,
it looked like Photoshop, though. It was that crazy.
I don't understand how it's allowed. Like, they're trying so hard to make the game more exciting and more scoring. There's so many different ways to do it. You can go, they could get there and say, okay, no more 5-on-5 hockey, 4-on-4 forever. Okay, we got 9-8 games. They could be like, let's go to Olympic size ice. They can't because they won't redo all the stadiums. Yes. But there you go, 7-6 games. They could, have a guy with a BB gun in the audience and he could just randomly shoot at guys. Or they can make the goalie equipment smaller. Now, which one would be the easiest to do?
I just think they should all have to do the exact same thing. I know it's like preference based for certain goalies and they want to have their own unique equipment, but I think it should just be standard. Everybody wears the exact same thing. But check that out, Prez. Like, it's actually a funny picture. I'm going to probably just send it to you with Vasilevsky and Price next to each other. You'll
send
actually
it to
think
me.
it's
I want to see it. I want to see it.
Yeah, I will, for sure. Last game here on the board, some best bets at the end of the show. We have Carmine's 6 and 60 segment we're still going to get to. We have that pre-recorded, and Carmine gave us a best bet to post as well. But it's the Washington Capitals and the Detroit Red Wings, our last game of the day to discuss. Detroit plus 150 at home, Washington minus 180 on the highway. The total's 5.5 here, Prez. And I'm going to just say this, and I don't want to sound like I hate the term auto bet. I hate when people use that expression. But I'll tell you what, teams that haven't played a game yet have been going over the total, period.
Yep.
Teams that haven't played a game yet and play their first game have been going over in the first period. And I don't usually like doubling up. And in full transparency for everybody out there listening, I discuss stuff with Prez, Carmine. We talk about hockey together, plays and handicapping strategies. Prez definitely helped me and get into the mindset of being more lower volume. And I have to tip my hat and thank you, Prez, because it's helped me, have a lot of success this season and turn things around. But I've been higher volume this week, just simply off betting these overs. I don't usually like doubling up, Prez, but I took, yesterday, Calgary, Seattle, Calgary's first game. First period, full game over. There's several games yesterday. That Islanders game, first period over. Cashes, Islanders first game back after. Do you see any reason why this wouldn't hit? Detroit's got young players that can score. Washington scored 3 in the first period, their last game. Give me the first period over, 1.5. We'll cash a ticket in 20 minutes here.
Yeah, so Andrew, I never bet first periods ever, no matter what. So I really am not going to add much value to that. But as far as playing Detroit over, man, this is a team that is very, very inconsistent when it comes to scoring. They could go through 3-4 game stretches where they put 1 or 2 goals in the net. We got a 5.5 on board in this game. So I do like the over in this game. But I like Washington as well in this game, Andrew. Detroit has not played for 12 days. And although the New York Islanders didn't play for 12 days and they went out and won last night, they're a lot better than this Detroit team. I look at this game and I think Washington is just better all around than Detroit. They've got a game under their belt. They won 5-3 against Nashville. They are 9-3-3 on the road. They have no issue playing on the road. I'm not going to overthink this, man. I like Washington, and I like the over.
I agree with you 100%. It sounds like we agree quite a bit today. Let's hope that's a good thing here, Prez. I'm looking forward to a successful day betting. And you look at the Washington Capitals, sometimes, Prez, you can win a game, but you don't feel good about it. I was a coach at amateur levels. My teams won games before where I wasn't happy with, the result and how they won. The Capitals were up 3-0 against the Predators. And in almost a few moments' time, it was 3-3, just like that. The coaching staff is so elite for the Washington Capitals. They won't be happy with that 5-3 win. Some people think a win is a win, coach will be happy. These guys are always trying to better their team. So when you're in the locker room celebrating, and everyone's high-fiving, the coach walks in and says, "What the hell was that? You guys blew a 3-0 lead, and now you just won 5-3, and you're excited?" I look at that, and now you're playing a Detroit team, like you said, very young, very inconsistent. I think it's a good spot for Washington, just like you. I'll be on that first period over as well, hoping to get some early. And the fact of the matter is, we've talked about this so much, I don't want to be broken record, but it's not even as much as I'm betting on Detroit to score and Washington to score. I'm betting on defensive mistakes that lead to goals. I'm betting on sloppiness out the gate. There's actually a bet you can make, Prez. Will there be a goal in the first 10 minutes? I'd be on that as well. I'm not trying to get too crazy on you, but that's what we've seen in some of these games. So it's been pretty interesting. But Prez and I both like Washington here, both looking at the over as well. We're going to throw it to Carm for his 6 in 60 segment, 6 picks in 60 seconds. This is for Saturday's slate. And Mr. Bianco, over to you, man.
All right, guys, 6 in 60. Here we go. Bruins, Sabres. Sabres' third game in 4 nights with a shortened bench. Let's take the Bruins at home, -1.5 on the puck line. Florida, Montreal. Panthers, big win, getting healthy. Canadians, third game in 5 nights with a makeshift lineup due to injuries and COVID. Florida, -1.5 on the puck line. Toronto, Ottawa, over 6 on Saturday. Toronto, 7-1-2. Last 10 to the over, 9.25 goals scored average in the last 4 games at home. Edmonton and the Islanders. Islanders, -110. Oilers, second of a back-to-back, third in 4 nights. Seattle and Vancouver. Vancouver's a bye team. Vancouver, -110. Winners of 9 of the last 10, including 7 in a row. Nashville and Chicago. Nashville in regulation time, +125. Preds have won 8 of their last 10. That's the 6 in 60.
There you have it, Prez, for Carmine Bianco. 60
Yeah,
seconds.
what
of
a
work.
job.
Yeah,
He has
yeah.
4
Round of
seconds
applause
left,
here for
though.
Carm. Round of applause here. 60 seconds of work.
Yeah,
He's out of here.
But wait a minute, it was only 56 seconds of work. I got to write that down for his pay. Carmine missed 2% of his job. Okay, Carm, your check next month will be 2% less. My apologies.
Carm, the Minuteman Bianco. What a nickname. I hope you're not watching right now still, Carm.
That's literally
stuff,
what
though.
his wife calls him.
Well,
like,
that's
I'm not
why I
even
said
kidding.
It. Isn't that what she told us over
Terrible.
dinner? No,
Terrible.
Yeah.
Way to bring this show back to porn, Andrew. My God, dude.
I haven't said that word once. The PR department of WagerTalk would come after me hard. I want to keep my job.
Okay,
that's a great
enough.
segment, though.
Yes,
that's a great
is.
segment, though. In all seriousness, it's a great segment. It's a lot tougher than it looks to rattle off all those picks. And speaking of which, rattling off picks, before I throw to you, Prez, again, make sure you guys all check out the presidential address. I know that's not easy either, Prez. You're doing it by yourself, but you have some fun with it. You give out a ton of picks, and you're also keeping track of records, which is really great. And you've recapped. I haven't watched every episode, I'll be honest with you, but I have tuned in a little bit to check it out, and I think it's great. So all of you guys out there that want to see what Prez is on and some picks for him and some thoughts, check that out over at WagerTalk TV as well. and your 5% bowl game today. I got the pick from Prez before we started the show. I'm going to tail him 100%, and looking forward to it. So, Prez, anything else you have to promote and your best bet for today, man?
No, I just use the promo code CFB20 for my bowl 5%. Wager Talk today starts in 22 minutes. We've got Rob Vino, Adam Trigger, which is an Andrew McInnis lookalike, and Andy Lang. It's going to be a great show. I'm going to annoy the shit out of Teddy. I'm going to start right off the bat with porn on that show, dude. Teddy's face. I'm going to be like, how much do you watch? Name some. What's your favorite? Is it the rabbi one?
So, Prez, I walk my dog directly after puck time, and your show, your antics are my entertainment. So, I'm tuning in for the information, of course, but that helps me get through the walk. So, keep it up, man. I love it. I might be a bad example, but I'm going to encourage you because it makes me laugh during the walk. Also, I gotta say, please do me a favor because this will be really funny before he does it. Remember last week on Wager Talk today, Andy said that if he was right on that Cardinals game, he gets more time than Adam. He was. So I know Andy's gonna bring it up to you.
Wait a minute.
So do me a
No,
favor.
he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Oh, he had the Colts. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me. How are we going to approach that?
Well, that's because Adam is last. Or Adam is before Andy, but you'll have to make a joke about that because I'm not even sure.
I know, but the thing with Andy is he's so good. Like, he's such a pro. He can literally get the information out in like 3 minutes. So
he needs more time, man. Give him some more time today.
Dude, he's on the NFL presidential address, the second most watched show in the entire Wager Talk multiverse.
All right. Give me your best bet and let's get out of here. I'm hungry for lunch.
Edmonton in regulation. I'm hanging up. Bye.
Edmonton in regulation
for
the Prez. Happy New Year.
Wait. Happy New Year, everybody. One of our very smart listeners wrote, when is the New Year in Canada? It is January 27th, but Happy New Year to the rest of you guys. Seriously, there's so much love in my heart for all of you guys. I mean, these shows, they make me so happy. All of the guys proud, and Jeffrey and Abid, and I mean everybody. I love doing this. So Happy New Year, everyone. Kick ass tonight. Andrew, I am now taking my headphones off and I'm leaving. Dan, I'm out of here. Don't come back to me. Love you all.
That is the Prez. Ladies and gentlemen, happy to have him on the show. It was a fun show, and it's always an interesting one, Dan, as we always know. 4 games we discussed, though. Lots of great picks and, lots of good information as well, mixed in with some interesting entertainment as usual. Look, I've got my best bet ready as well. I just want to remind you guys about that promo code GOAL200. Take $200 off my NHL season package. That's good until Sunday. I'm red hot right now, guys. 37-11 run. But also 5% play goes today. There's a few early games as well. 70% since 2019 with those 5% plays. My best bet, we're going with the over in the first period. Detroit and Washington over 1.5 goals. On behalf of the Prez and Dan, our producer, I'm Andrew. Happy New Year, guys. Hope you guys have an amazing 2022. And, Carmine's best bet. Cannot forget Carmine's best bet. Detroit money line plus 150. The Prez with Edmonton in regulation. And I have Washington, Detroit, first period over 1.5. So on behalf of Carmine, Prez, our producer, Dan, I am Andrew. Happy New Year, guys. We'll see you on Monday.
Now you can enjoy the happiness of the holidays for the next 6 months by paying less and making more money by getting 180 days of picks from your favorite handicapper at a huge discount. This limited time Christmas special gives you a 90-day all-access pass with a handicapper of your choice at WagerTalk.com, plus an additional 90 days of all-access passes at no additional cost, an $849 value. This comes out to just under $5 per day, includes all sports released and any 5% best bets, normally priced at $35 each. Your access with your handicapper will cover NFL through the Super Bowl, college football through the national championship, any NBA and NHL action, including playoff games played during access and the start of the MLB season. Plus, if your handicapper does UFC, soccer, tennis, or any sport, yep, it's included. Happy holidays from everyone at WagerTalk.